Good morning, Bay Ridge. Welcome to another edition of After Hours. This week I thought I would take a little time to talk about our personal spiritual warfare. In recent weeks I've covered a lot of broad general principles regarding who our enemies are, how our enemies work together and collude together to build strongholds in us, how strongholds are actually built, and then the weapons we use to fight against them. And there have been a lot of principles, and I've had a lot of feedback from folks that they found it really enlightening, eye-opening, and very helpful. And I'm really glad for that, and I would encourage you to continue looking and thinking of those things because they're the general broad principles regarding spiritual warfare. However, I want to take a step back for a moment in this edition of After Hours and remind us of the fact that warfare is two things. First, it is personal. And that means that every one of those principles, though they are generally broadly true, are going to work out distinctly in each one of us. You are an individual, and so am I. All of our strengths and weaknesses, our fears, our hopes are all distinct and different. And so the way the enemy will come at us is going to be a little bit distinct and different. And we have to always remember that. So as you're thinking through the broad principles of spiritual warfare, always be asking yourself how they specifically apply in your individual life. Secondly, this is a spiritual warfare, and that means we are fighting an actual individual spirit being, Satan, who is arrayed against us. The warfare is spiritual, and so there are always many principles, but much of this warfare is going to be conducted by prayer. We're going to be constantly crying out to God. As we saw on Sunday, when Satan is coming at us, we're drawing near to God. We draw near to God in prayer, and then we're withstanding the enemy in prayer. And it is a consistent, constant need for us to be engaged in the spiritual work of prayer. The same thing is true even when we're facing strongholds that are built in us, or if we're facing pressure that is coming from the world regarding our sinful nature coming within us. The idea of it being a spiritual battle. This is not something that we fight in our flesh. And so when you take these two things together, it being personal and it being spiritual, that means our warfare is not merely a matter of going through a checklist, that we do the same rote actions each day, and that means there won't be any warfare. Rather, we are personally engaging a personal enemy, and it is being engaged spiritually. And so it's a lot more than simply a checklist. And it's something that you and I will grow in as we go throughout our lives. Even during this season, though I've been walking with Jesus for almost 40 years now, as I've been meditating and studying and reading and praying and laboring and engaging in spiritual warfare, I have been learning a lot about how the enemy tries to attack me, ways that I can work to defend, and engaging in trying to see the things in my own life brought down, broken, so that I can experience the freedom that Christ has given to me. So I encourage you to continue thinking through, studying and listening, but also asking God to guide you in these aspects of what it means that there is a personal warfare for you and that it is spiritual in nature. I hope everybody has a good week, and I look forward to all of us continuing to join in worship in the coming weeks as we serve our great God and Savior, Jesus Christ. God bless.